Hello, my petals, and welcome back to another episode of the Roze Garden. I am your host, Habla Rosa, aka La Rosa Negra, or Black Rose if you're nasty. And today, I have with me an active panel. Some of them are going to be bouncing in and out of conversation. Some of them are going to be more actively engaged. We have Cloud.
Hello. How's everyone?
Hi. Welcome. First and foremost, it's UnboundedCloud to you. You don't know him. You don't know him. Respect his name. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Second, now should I say Mr. Purple Lettuce, Mr. Hammy Time, Mr. Where we going with this?
I am Matt and or Purple Lettuce and or Hammy Time. Hello.
Hello. We have Quani. Quani's been on an episode with us before. You remember La Gran Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
No one new to the show. Lovely as ever to have you back. How you been?
I've been good, chilling.
Well, let's not lie to the people. Being good is not necessarily your strong suit. Tell me I'm lying.
You're not lying. I can't argue with you.
Thank you. And we have a special guest, actually. Should I call you Mel? Do you have a preferred name that you want to go by?
You can go whatever you want. I just go by any name. No, me. I just like, oh look.
Tis Melvin.
I got called. I'll allow myself some attention. Spotlight.
Indeed, it is Melvin. Yes, and also, in case it wasn't apparent, I'm a weeb. I'm gonna have weeb friends. So, yes, this is a Japanese pronunciation of his name. Deal with it. Now, let's reel it in, because I realized I might have done a bump or two for some reason. I don't know where this crack came from. It just landed in my lap, but today's conversation is going to be surrounded about black masculinity. I have the luxury of having several black friends, male, queer, and female. Today, I wanted to ask my black male friends what it means, honestly, in their eyes, to be a black man, what it means to be black and masculine within the world, and how that masculinity is shaped by their experience, and going forward, what to expect. So who wants to start us out? What exactly... are you a black man by all purposes considered?
Hell yeah. All in my entire life.
We got one black man in the room.
I'm also a man who's black.
That's different. That's different entirely. A man who happens to be black scares me. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
that energy he just leaves bringing out. Yes, I'm black.
We're very proud of we're very proud of people who happen to be white, because white people do some really, really scary stuff. The inverse of that is a man who happens to be black. Insert Ben Carson.
Yeah, that is a good example.
Thank you. I do my best. Kuon, are you a black man by all things considered?
Last time I checked,
Hold on.
John,
Do a quick look in the mirror. You good? Check in real quick.
wait. Yep. Actually, yeah.
Alright. And Cloud?
Alright.
What say you?
I am. I'm mixed. Half black, so yeah, technically, I still can.
I'm in a weird space, but for all purposes intended, I do classify you as black because you're not white. Both because of the one drop rule and also because of your navigation of the world, and I hate to say stereotypes, but stereotypes sort of play into it as well. You are stereotypically black as well. You sound Negro with an accent. Okay, focus. Bring it in. I'm going to pose this specifically to Matt first, because I want to have you both come out of your shell and also hear what you have to say about it. What exactly do you think is your experience of black masculinity?
I don't know.
What you mean you don't know?
Like the closest example of like black masculinity would be my father because like first black man that I knew, to be honest.
That makes sense. Um, Melvin,
Yes.
for you, how exactly do you like see or frame your idea of black masculinity?
My idea kind of about that is kind of more just kind of more like common man, general things, just like a guy just being himself, like being himself no matter what. Sometimes some people may like it, some not. But at the end of the day, are you comfortable with yourself? Are you comfortable with yourself as a person? But not as a man, as a person, are you comfortable? It's not just the physical; it's just also the
That makes
mental part
sense.
messing that comes along with that.
Now, do you feel like this is more centered in a modern or a traditional sense of like common man?
It's kind of more. It kind of hits between both, but it definitely hitting there more modern. You have more bigger change now than it used to be in the past. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Kwani?
Uh, Wait, what was the question again? Sorry.
Um, what is your experience of black masculinity? How exactly does like your view expect it and like
I My experience is mainly just like family, like and nothing really. Well, my family's idea of black masculinity is more in a like traditional sense, but I'd say my view of it is more modern.
Cloud? What does black masculinity look like for you?
Being just a man, to be honest, you know, not not shying away from what life has to throw at you, or not, not being a pushover, but being able to not just be a pillar for yourself, but be a pillar for the people that are closest to you.
That definitely makes sense. And I feel like in your definition, you sort of framed what it means to be a man too, but I don't think I actually asked the others. Backpedaling a little bit from being specifically a black man, what do you feel like being a man is? Feel free to just jump in.
To me, it's to me being a man is, how can I word that?
You don't have to be
Like
right, you
being
just gotta be true.
kind of kind of hard for me to be able to word that other than like being, I don't know.
You want to pass it along to
It's,
the other boys and then
yeah,
come back?
I'll pass while I'm trying to collect my thoughts here.
I feel you.
Mm,
Kwani?
that's fair.
Or, no, Mel. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, I think between man is just I think in the modern sense is being true to yourself. Saying like, yes, you may not like a man. Like I said, I tell you to the man being true to yourself. Being like, you might have flaws, but those flaws make you human. Like not being a man, not being like it's not being strongest, not being the weakest, not being the smartest. It's just being human and genuine to connect with people. Because sometimes you forget, manhood is not just about strengthening a leader, it's how you connect as a person, as a leader. It's to learn to find ways to connect with people in many ways. Not in the tougher sense, even a softer sense. Try to understand somebody understand people a little more than we usually see in the outside.
I feel that, honestly. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask now, because you've posted in being yourself, do you feel like there's ever a line where that gets a little bit muddier or difficult to achieve?
Yeah, I see it is very difficult as a very person. The challenge is easier or harder depending on the person or how the boy or how the virtual man how they are raised. But at the end of the day, is that's a personal challenge for that's personal challenge for them to grow. Because not every man's gonna be equal. Not every man gonna be the greatest. Not every man's gonna be lesser. Every man have their own set of challenges, and they have to learn to deal with it in their own ways.
Word. Kwani?
Again, he asked the question again.
Oh, sure, of course. What does being a man look like to you? We're just backpedaling a little bit.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's actually like really kind of difficult to like say because it's like I don't know.
Well, if I can help a little bit for both you and Cloud, I want you to make this as personal as possible because it is about you.
I got it now.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's being able to be tough and vulnerable at the same time.
Ooh, okay.
Because
go on.
For me, it's like when I say tough, I don't mean being able to like not to be Superman, you know, but to be able to roll with the punches. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody were to come at me sideways, like I'm not gonna sit up here and go ballistic. You know, I'm just gonna be like, all right, well, that's what you're saying, but I'm still gonna hold my ground and I'm not gonna, you know, stoop to your level kind of thing. You know what I mean?
So
like,
it's being firm in yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
No. But to the opposite side of that coin, you know, to where I said being vulnerable at the same time, it's like not acting like nothing can hurt you, you know, but to be like, yes, this can hurt me, yes, it has hurt me, but at the same time, I powered through it and I can power through this next thing, so on and so forth. You know, and like being able to take things that has happened and be able to learn and strengthen yourself accordingly.
I feel that. Actually, it makes sense now to put together this whole. But that's an interesting dichotomy, though, because on one hand you're saying I'm strong enough to withstand it all, but on the other hand you're saying it's okay if I'm not strong. How does that like? How do you find that balance?
For me, it's being able to meditate and look within myself to look at things that I've gone through, things that I've done, things that people have done to me, and be able to be like, okay, now what is it that I can change to make sure that things go better for me? Things that, you know, if I have things that I do regret, to be like, all right, well, I can say that I forgive myself and not do those things again, or like be a better person in certain situations that I've been in before, or, you know, be like, all right, well, this is how it used to be, it's not how I am anymore. You know, just being able to go back and
Grow,
learn from things and grow. Exactly.
Quan, I'm gonna bounce it back to you. Have you sort of found a way to articulate your own definition of it?
Not really.
Spitball with me. Let's talk about it.
Spitball. I don't know. Like the main thing that I'm trying to think of as like what I think of a man is like normally like in the household. Like that's the thing that kind of just pops to my mind, and I'm thinking in like a family dynamic. What would I want to be? What would I want my father to be? What would I want? Well, not want, but like actually like what's the best qualities I see? And
well, not necessarily wrong with the want either, because sometimes as much as these are the like, you're definitely not wrong when you're saying like your brothers, your uncles, your cousins, your father, all these different men have shaped your frame of masculinity and manhood right now, but what plays into it too, because if there are parts of that you like experience and don't want going forward, you've got to end that cycle now and go, okay, so I don't want that for myself or for my future kids, any of my offspring going forward. How can I fix that?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm thinking of like what exactly I would want to be, what I would want my kids to be, my future kids to be, and I don't know, I would just sit there and say like not really like a provider, but somebody that is there physically, emotionally, financially, somebody that is
Present.
Present. Yeah.
Words happen to be my thing.
No, I want to chime in on that too. It's like looking at it like as well. I'm gonna look at like how things were with me and my father growing up. You know, like I oftentimes think like if I ever did have a family of my own, like, what I would take away from how things were with me and my father, how some things I would keep and some things I would change. You know, like I'd still want to be able to sit up here, and if I have girls, I would like to show them how a man should treat a woman so that they don't grow up and try to find a father figure or somebody else, or like go to different dudes that are just gonna do them all sorts of bad ways that I feel like a woman shouldn't have to go through. Or if I have boys, I would like to be that figure that they grow up and look at and be like, I want to be just like my dad. You know, I want to I want to be I want to be able to sit up here and say I'm just like him. I'm a man. You know.
I like that. But I feel like I have to ask this now too. Do you feel like that conflicts with, say, Melvin's image of manhood, where it's that thing where your kids are now trying to be the man that you are, or would you still encourage them to be their own men? Or speaking to male children, anyways.
First, I'd always tell them to be them. You know, like I don't like when I say to be like me, I don't mean like to do everything that I do or to be exactly like me. Like if anything, I want my kids to be better than me. Like I would rather them look and be like, yeah, I'm been raised by him. I take cues away from him and think about ways that I can improve upon that.
I feel like you're trying to say that you want to you want your kids to go back to you and be like, you were a good role model. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, I would love that, to be honest, if that ever were to happen.
Future
but at the same
children, if
time,
you're
I still
hearing
want them
this,
to
tell
be
him.
them.
Mm-hmm. Like the idea of a role model isn't that they're gonna mirror who you are, but they're gonna see who you are and strive to be as strong as you, maybe stronger. And that's how I see role models as.
Mm.
And see, I always think that the next generation should be an improvement upon the last. So if I had a son, I would like him to take I would like him to take some cues from me, but improve and end up being a better man than me.
I like
If
that.
that answers your question.
Now, before I move on to the second portion of the question, I do want to pose it for Matthew, because he sort of got not necessarily overshadowed, but sort of like disappeared in the sauce of it all. What does being a man look like for you?
Just being someone who's present, who's accepting, who's strong, understanding, and emotionally available would be like my like ideal thought of like a man.
Do you feel like acceptance is a massive component? I only ask because sometimes I feel like a massive lesson I've learned specifically in the world is that while people may tolerate my existence in any capacity, not everyone's going to accept me completely or unconditionally. And that's okay because not everyone can accept all of
Mm-hmm.
me.
I mean, not everyone will be accepting, but I don't know. I think it just depends on who you're around, the type of people you're around, like who you're gonna be, and like as a man myself, I'm gonna make sure to be accepting because I'm gonna want my children to also be accepted.
I'm going
Like
to snap to
what
that.
I like about my dad is that he was accepting of me. Like I'm not straight, I'm bisexual, and he very much took me and told me I still love you. You know that, right? Like he had no problem with me not being straight, and like he has like I have brothers and sisters who are not like directly blood related, but they are like well like half siblings, and one of my sisters is like a stud, and he loves the shit out of her, and it's just like great to have a father who will love you unconditionally no matter like what you decide to like be in your life.
Honestly, see, I didn't have that experience, so I'm just sitting here trying not to cry.
I feel so lucky. Like if I didn't have a father like that, I don't know like how I'd be living my life right now. Like I'd be scared. I probably wouldn't want to be myself. Like I definitely like try to like hide who I really am.
You
And
wouldn't
because
be a
of him, I
fashion
feel like I
icon
don't have to
either.
do
Can,
exactly. I would not be a fashion icon. Like
can we take a
not
minute
everybody
to
can pull this off.
appreciate? I know! I know!
Like I said, when people have like, let's say about manhood, this is what I'm talking about. Accepting of yourself. Like as a man, like that's what I'm saying. Like accepting of yourself, not the others see how you view yourself. And
Okay.
like you said, I grew up with that as well too. That's having a dad accept me, a grandma, my mother, my family accept me. And yes, it's bisexual, but they really don't care. Like with friends, they don't care, and that's good. They only care about what you do, like educate, what within the job, education, what you do outside, how you support the community and yourself. That's the most important thing. How you
Yeah.
act as a person, less than what the image they think you are. It- At some point, we sometimes forget to not studying called the idea of masculine. How do we do and how do we find a balance between it while being honest with ourselves? And sometimes some guys are not lucky to have that, and some guys are. But for the guys who are not lucky, we can help them to to get to this route where they can accept it and be honest with themselves without being afraid, so that they're weak. They show they fall afraid of showing weakness about that, and so that it is strength is equal and it is strength as well. To be honest and reveal your own weaknesses.
It takes an incredible amount of strength to truly be vulnerable and expose your weak side. And, like, I'm gonna go ahead and, like, weeb out for a minute. Literally, the most iconic scene in every fucking fight scene is when you get to watch the hero who's been getting their ass handed to them strip off all the armor, strip off all the fucking like defenses and rules and technique and everything, and just go for the kill. It takes that's almost what I'm imagining it takes to truly be I guess a man. Any dissent or like contributing thoughts?
Yeah, you hit that on the head. You hit that on the head when you said that, right? So the best fight scenes are the guys who had so much to lose but have so much to gain. But they put themselves out there, become vulnerable, and show who they really are in the end. Within that moment. Like even any anime we can talk about right now, to shonen or whatever, you always see that guy that always push for his goals no matter what. Even if he's wrong, he still push for it because that's what he believes. And he stands for what he believes in.
Most definitely.
And
Now, I have to ask moving forward with this, considering that as a man you are within your community, how do you feel like your interaction with people like is contingent on your identity as a man, be it cemented or in progress or loading? Like, do you feel like any of those aspects change that as well?
Honestly, it really don't change me as much because I know who I am as a man. I know who I am as a person, as a man. But I can just but more around people and I like men of my own. I learn more and grow more. No matter how young or old, I learn new things every day, and that's the point thing for me as a man. I always focus on, even if I choose to have kids. Yes or no, depending how many doesn't matter. Is that I want to teach them that no matter how much a man you are, you still have room to grow. You still have room to be wrong, but room to grow from it and become a better person. There's no stop. There's no stopping. There's no stopping and say this is a man who you stop. No. Continue getting better. Continue opening your mind. Continue educating yourself. You keep getting better. This world doesn't stop, so why should you?
So if I hear you correctly, in being a man, you'll never completely be a man. You're always, I guess,
Right.
becoming all over again.
Like it's ever changing. Like being a man, the term itself, the ideals is not the word. It's the ideals that changes, and we should try to grow and change along with it. But use it to help the next generation become again. How Charles said, become better man. Not just in the household, not financial, not the household, not how you want your kid to look at you, just in general.
Speaking of Cloud, do you feel like I want to pose this question to Cloud just to like it's kind of hard juggling you all around, but posing this question to Cloud, do you feel like again being a part of the community like or being like conditioned by a community changes your perception of what it means to be a man, be it socially, societally, or even to yourself?
If I understand the question correctly, you're asking like based off of society's ideals of a man, if that changes how I view
it. Yes and no. More so, do you feel like what it means to be a man is like, do you feel it's conditioned more by society, or does it all start with you? Is it like, how do you feel society plays into the identity of a man, especially a black man?
I feel like society plays into it as far as what the masses believe versus what the individual believes, if that makes sense. Like, for example, you can ask like the next 15 people, what their views are, and they might say like tough as nails fighter like Mike Tyson, for example. Or, you might ask the next 15 people after that, and they might give you a different example with. Then if you just ask like an individual what their thoughts are, they might sit and tell you, well, someone that can be sensitive when necessary, but not overly and not all the time.
Kuon?
How do I say this? Like for me personally, I do think like society has like influenced my perception. I think society influences everyone's perceptions, whether like you're going along with society or you're rebelling against it. Like whether or not it's that starting off mindset that you're taught as like that you're almost indoctrined as a kid that kind of sit here and that kind of like starts you off on your perceptions of what a man is. For me personally, yeah, I completely rebelled against society's thoughts about it, and I'm still kind of like working on my own like perception of it.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Matt? Matt?
Yeah.
For you, how much do you feel like community or society plays into what it means to be a man?
Mm, I mean, like, I feel like it plays a big part as like how you're gonna feel, like how you're gonna feel to like, how do I phrase this? Like how you want people to perceive you is how like what society will do. Like it'll make you want to show yourself to people in a certain way, which is like can be bad. But I don't know. It depends on what like society you're like what like community you're a part of. In my like idealism,
Okay.
I don't know.
Melvin?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, correct. He's correct. Basically, in culture, manhood is viewed a lot differently. And up on black, it's just we see manhood a lot differently with kind of the father figures and stuff like that, and how media kind of maybe from a like urban, I think urban, I say hood or urban to more upper. Manhood is viewed a lot more different, and a lot of times, a lot of time like to like how do I put it? It's that manhood is viewed differently based on culture, but definitely on your status as well as a man. And manhood a lot more differently, where you're except from the from the poor side, from the richer side. And manhood are kind of the same. It is, but not really 100%. Because again, it's also looking at the status of a man as well.
So
Maybe adding wealth on that too.
You feel like class as well as race play into major facets of what it means to be a man.
Right. You look at many different cultures, manhood be differently, but if you took that culture and said, let's get them money, go get money, you see how wealthy people act differently as males will act differently than normally were they wasn't wealthy.
So then, I'm gonna ask this question really quickly before we move on to our next segment. Real quickly to each one of you, you can answer sort of yes or no and elaborate if you'd like to. Do you feel like if black men were given money, somehow we would be better men?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
I'm kind of 50-50. Actually, you know what? I'll say no. The more I think about it, no.
Because like you see some of these like what quote unquote black men like always trying to flex on people and all this other shit. It's like, bro, chill. Like we all came from Africa. We all came from the same place. You're no better than anybody else. You might have a few gold teeth, but like doesn't make you any better than I am.
Right.
But I feel like sorry.
I want to piggyback on this. This is kind of like with wealth. It's that how we go about the money, but it goes money. But sometimes, like as like male, it ties with the male masculinity. It's like again, let's go back to how do people view finances. If you're wealthy, they view higher. If you're not, they view a little bit lower. At the same time, like the guy that fancy higher. Well, so like I said, yes, the new generation will flex with money. At the same time, it's just like they don't understand the value and responsibility versus like the old money generation versus you do have African American successful African American males who are wealthy, but they didn't change themselves, but they came from old money though. They built their money up. Versus the new generation of males who do have that money or who get that assets, you see the mindsets differently because the money came from somebody else, came from their dad or somebody else or their uncle.
Okay.
There's a lot of
it's also still an experience and go through as male to earn that level of status.
I feel like if you get money, like you come into money, then that's not really going to change how you are as a man. And if you're born into a family that comes from money or like that has money, then it's up to how you're raised whether or not you're going to be more masculine or not.
That definitely like it. Makes sense, but I am like I've constantly juggled with that idea. Like even after I asked the question, I still had to answer it in my own mind, and I definitely agree. Like I'm glad we're all on the same page. Like very simply, if we just were to give black men money, would that make them a better man? It's a resounding no. However, also I can't help but feel, especially considering that money tends to be a major thing that plagues us as a community, that it would be one less thing in the way that maybe would help us make the men better.
True. Like if we were all on equal playing fields, it would all like people would act different.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it'd be better or worse, but it would definitely be different.
Right. And on that note, before we get sucked into another tangent, let's go ahead and start picking some petals. I decided to be controversial. I picked out the messy question first. Our first question up is, how do you feel about black masculinity and dating? Specifically, the question said, I'm summing it up as the subject and then asking the question. I probably should have clarified that. Excuse me. The question said, hey, do you feel as though when dating, being a black man makes it harder or easier or changes your perception of dating?
I can answer that question. It depends. It's a 50-50. Like, as well as someone who did date it, I dated men, women, evolved some race. It's a very 50-50. Everyone will view you a lot differently depending how their person you are and how they personally view themselves, but society how society will view that type of relationship. It's gonna be like, it's not easy but not hard. It's in the middle. It's navigate dating as a person overall.
Okay.
But there's no one to like for African males to say this is your relationship, this was the relationship you're gonna end up with. There's no perfect way to get that during a dating experience.
All right, that makes sense. Let's have Kwani go next.
Can you frame the question again?
When it comes to dating, do you feel like as a black man this makes it harder or easier or frames your state of being? Do you feel like that actually plays a key part in dating?
Oh, yes, actually. Because I always feel like there's constantly like the idea, like how we started off on what a black man is and what a black man is supposed to be in our mindset in terms of dating. I feel like, at least for me personally, I have a history of trying to at least fake as if I have those aspects like all the time, as if I'm like top on the chart of everything that I think like the person that I'm dating, my partner, would want me to be as a black man. And sometimes even like voices from outside of the relationship could sit here and like sway like my actions in dating.
Ooh, so do you feel like essentially you have to put up this front sort of to get it? Not I hate saying it that way because it sounds so there's no other way for me to put it right now, so I'm just go ahead and roll with it. Do you feel like you have to put up a front to essentially be like attractive or get a date?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I'll say it and I will say full yes.
Okay. Do any of you other boys have to say anything about the question? Or I guess I can pose it because I'm posing for Matt because I'm curious to know how it plays out being bisexual specifically because you date on both sides.
I mean, technically, I don't date at all because I'm a rejection.
You know what?
So, like, I wouldn't know. I don't try because I'm like scared,
Translation: Valentine's Day's coming up. He's single. Get at him. His socials will be delivered at the end of the show. Get at him.
Not Valentine's Day now. It's like a day for me. We're gonna get together all day.
Last but not least, Cloud, do you feel like being a black man makes it easier or harder to date, or does it shape your dating experience?
I don't think dating is easy at all, regardless of what factor being black has to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it just boils down to the qualities that you bring to the table and the qualities that the person you're trying to date brings to the table as well.
So you would say no, you don't feel specifically being black has anything to do with your dating experience?
No.
Okay. That's fair. I forgot what I was going to ask specifically. Oh, I kind of want to pose the question for the three other gentlemen because it was a good sub-question that was presented. I was asking Kwani, do you feel like you have to sort of put up this facade or this front to try and get dates or be attractive to people?
No, not at all.
No, never happened.
Because how I see that is, if you do put up a front, eventually you're like the real you is gonna have to come out.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No way around it. It's gonna happen.
Well,
And I would rather be disliked for who I am than liked for who I'm not.
Piggyback on it, I do agree with on Cloud. I piggyback what he said. I do agree. Like when guys do say I have to put up a front, that means you have some. It goes back to that insecurity that sometimes males will go through. If like when males have to put up a front, it's a form of like again, I said not always insecurity, but it is like a form. It is a part of insecurity where, but you go back to what someone thinks of you. If I don't put up a front, do you want to think of this or think you lower or lesser or anything of that nature? It goes back to that insecurity as a guy come from within yourself. Something you work on where it comes like with guys, sometimes we forget the self-love part. We don't care other people, how other people view us and love us, but we forget to care about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That makes
sense. To be insecure in our own masculinity. And that's confidence. That is important. That comes around in dating completely. You can be the brokest guy. If you have the biggest confidence, any woman or any guy will come to you. Because that confidence will always pull them in.
I mean,
let's be honest. That's kind of true.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
Right.
I found myself in some bad situations. I don't know. See, now I'm gonna pose a question. I'm sorry, Pedals. I gotta swerve real quick. Do you feel like that sort of plays into, because I'm going to speak from my experience of black masculinity. I find it in a lot of cases, or like it's changing and progressing, definitely, especially with our newer generation. But as a general concept, it's kind of toxic. And one of those toxic aspects is finding that balance and understanding the difference between cockiness and arrogance and confidence. And do you think that sort of plays into toxic dating, toxic masculinity, toxic black masculinity even?
I'm confused by the question.
I'm sorry?
I think
I'm confused by the question.
Let me see if I can clarify it. Do you feel like, I'm speaking specifically to confidence, because that's where the aspect he was speaking of, or like being confident in yourself and your sense of being a man. Do you feel like specifically pertaining to being black, because my experience of black men has been a lot of them having that like a finite line and constantly teeter-tottering back and forth between confidence and cockiness? Do you feel like that plays anything within dating? Does that have negative bearings? Do you think it hurts everybody? Do you think it hurts some people more than others?
I feel like that just depends on who else is involved. Like, cockiness and confidence are two separate things.
Most definitely. But the first thing, I only asked this question because the first thing that came to mind when Melvin started talking about confidence bringing in suitors and people who are interested in you is that I found myself specifically, and I'm willing to air my own laundry out here, I found myself in a lot of predicaments with toxic men, specifically black men, because this is the predominantly who I date. Toxic black men who I found incredibly confident and in turn have ended up being incredibly insecure and started out with this pseudo confidence that I now found was like rooted in this weird cockiness slash like it's not even real swag, because once you get, again, I guess it leads to your point of being true to yourself, because once your real self comes forward, it's not who you are, and you're going to be disliked for not being that person.
Exactly what I was saying earlier is like the truth is going to come out. It always does. So if somebody is faking like they're confident when they know that they're not, it's going to come out.
All right.
And it's only going to backfire at that point. So why not just, face everything, even if it terrifies you, versus acting like you're the king of the world when you're not.
Oh my God, we totally let Matt slip through the cracks. Step to the podium, step to the podium. Sir, you ain't getting away that easy. Yes, you.
Hey.
We're going back to the actual question. Do you feel like in dating, being a black man, like, makes it easier, makes it harder, and shapes your dating experience?
I don't know. I just feel like relationships with people in general can be interesting, because I have a bad mental thing where I'm like, if someone doesn't like me, my instant thought is, do they not like me because I'm black? Which is not good.
That's an important question to ask yourself, actually.
It's what goes through my head. It's like, are they acting this way because I'm black? Or are they talking to me this way? Or do they expect this from me because I'm black? Like how society paints black men is not who I am. Is that what they expect me to be like? Like, that's what usually goes through my head is like, huh.
I want to take that and...
It could be.
I want to take that and slightly up it a little bit. Sometimes it's also the reverse of that too. Are they only seeking you out because of society's idea of a black man? Because I want to call out my snow bunnies here. And I'm realizing now that Snow Bunny initially started out with white women, but it applies to everyone. We're going ahead and spreading this like Jiffy. Spread it all around. If you are white and you are seeking out a black person because of what you've seen either on TV, in music videos, or learned about stereotypically, you are not seeking out black people. You are seeking out a caricature of black people.
Oh yeah, like an accessory. It's like the thought of like a gay best friend, like a black best friend. Like that's kind of what it's like.
Like it's like a token. It's like, oh, I got black man, but it's like a token.
Oh yeah,
I date,
token,
like
black kid.
You're tokenizing them, like, oh, I dated black men. Oh, you're tokenizing them. So I dated them, but did you really care about them?
It's like fetishizing too.
Yeah, fetishizing, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, you boys better preach today.
Yeah, like I said, I get tired of this in dating. Definitely with the snow bunnies. I'm like, or people like that are so much. At this point, I say, look, I get you on day I charge the rate, that's fine. But care about the person you're dating. If you care about them, you really love them, I'm happy for you. If you're just dating them because they're black or you saw certain things, I need you to go sit some several seats down, go somewhere else, and take that brain cell you have, to get another 2-3 brain cells, and think a little far ahead before you date. So go ahead and date another black man. At the same time, we are human beings. We're not tools. We're not sexual objects. We're not your tokens. We're not something you show out to your family and say, I'm interracial. I'm not racist. Or like, no, we're not that. We're people. We're human beings, and respect us equally as you respect everybody else. That's my stance on that.
All right. I want to take that and sort of make it more digestible for the people in the back who may have missed it. I'm going to go ahead and quote a line that's become very popular, especially over the summer of 2020, during all the different Black Lives Matter protests, with the white girls coming to them. or rather black women speaking out on behalf to white women specifically who weren't showing up to these spaces. If you can open your mouth for black dick, you can open your mouth to speak on black lives. I mean, I'm gonna just leave that where it may, and I'm gonna just, you don't see me, I'm invisible.
So I'm gonna just throw that one out there and let it float for a bit.
I love to throw a grenade in the crowd and just duck back and watch. Okay, we gonna go ahead and pick another petal. Do you feel like because you are a black man, you have denied yourself the right to enjoy certain things?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, I haven't denied myself.
I've always been proud of who I am, and I refuse to let anything or anyone change that.
I don't think it's that regard, because they started listing examples. It was more like not drinking or not smoking weed or not wearing Jordan, stuff like that.
See, I get asked, like if I drink, if I smoke. No, I don't. And every time someone asks me, well, why not or whatever, and, I don't have a problem telling them why I don't. It's not my thing. It just is what it is.
Okay.
Same here. No drink, no smoke, clean bill of health. I stay healthy and keep myself healthy. That's how I put it to people.
I do enjoy a casual puff or sip every now and again, and I like to think I'm pretty healthy too.
It depends. Like if you can't go a day without drinking, that's a problem.
Oh,
I drink on occasion,
I like a glass of wine with my dinner.
Not a glass of wine.
A glass of wine, a nice glass of rosé.
Give me le garçon. Bring me the Chenin Blanc from the back, please. Matt, what about you?
I mean, I don't drink or anything either, so I don't know.
Well, I probably should
in
lead with the conversation too. These are just examples. Do you feel like there's anything like you just don't or won't do because like you're a black man and maybe I think it's speaking to the conversation of like, again, stereotypes and whatnot. It's like, okay, like for me, I know I don't wear my natural hair out to like work specifically because I've had bad experiences with, even in protective styles, white people touching my hair. So I think it's stuff like that.
Oh, that's a big one. I wear hats all the time, especially because of that.
I think that's what they mean when they're saying denying yourself stuff because you're black. Specific, but I guess they're asking in the guise of being a black man.
Not at all.
I mean, like, if I'm, like, at a get-together or something, and there's food, and there just happens to be watermelon there, I'm very much like, I don't want to get watermelon, because I know someone's gonna fucking say something, and that is not what I'm trying to have happen right now. So.
It's a valid fear. It's funny, but it's very valid, because, like,
it's funny, but it's
I understand, it's hilarious. But for me, I would if I want a watermelon, I take a watermelon. But whatever I want, I get what I want. If I don't want that stuff, I said, I don't need it. I'm good. I'm that simple. I'm simple. Some man said, I don't need it.
I'm afraid to be like the stereotype, like, because I don't want to be generalized by like how everybody else sees everybody else. I want to just see how I am. Me as, oh yeah, he's black, so he's like this. No,
Let's be honest.
Matt, so he's like this. Like.
I'll be honest, picking up what you're saying. I see some people. I do see some guys that are afraid that don't eat certain type of chicken or stuff because it's a stereotype. For me, I'm like, if you like what you like, that is fine. Never be afraid to like what you like. As a guy, as a male, don't ever fear what you like. If you like a certain thing, if someone's gonna say something, I'm like this. So what? You got a problem with it? Let them know that I don't care. If you're gonna say something. Because at the end of the day, I will say straight to your face. Otherwise, they will easily back off of me, or they'll be like, okay, because they realize I'm normalized. They see how I'm not making a big deal. They're not gonna make it a big deal. Again, there are stereotypes. Never be afraid to like what you like. You can be an otaku. I'm not gonna tell you that I like to cosplay, whatever. There's a guy that black cosplay that males and cosplay as females. They don't care. They like it. That's normal. They get people like it. Some people like it and interact with them. They have good friends. Some people Don't like it. Big deal. Not my problem.
This
Again, other
man
people.
just
Other
said
people
with
like you
his
about man.
whole face
That's
on
not your problem. When people view you as a stereotype. It's not your problem. That's them generalizing it, not you. You're the one that's no. You're the one can view as normal or not normal. And you can choose to act on it if you want to or not. That's your right as a person to choose.
Okay. Ooh, I don't. You know what? It's a good question, but it's very, very vague, and I kind of want to leave it that way just to see how y'all respond. Another pedal asked us, "Are you happy?"
It's a tough one.
I'm always happy. Non-apologetically, I'm always be happy. I'll be happy no matter what. No matter what come into the future, I'll always be smiling every day.
Definitely happy.
Look at all this black boy joy around us. You better go ahead then.
It's so beautiful.
Shut up. You know what?
Y'all inspire me. I swear to God.
Y'all so beautiful.
No beautiful to get that. I said that ask the question. Are you like that question? Like that little beautiful pedal that that person released. Are you happy? If in this modern time, are you happy?
I think it's a very I think it's a good question. Again, like I don't know, like I'm thinking popular black men. I don't know too many, at least classic black figures that are known for smiling even. Like the whole thing of when I think Denzel Washington was attractive, but he was still, there's like Training Day, there's all the different cop movies he's always done. All of these are very, very like aggressive and angry roles. Samuel L. Jackson, literally the entire one word to sum up his entire existence, motherfucker. And so, and even still, like I tried to say Michael B. Jordan, and he does have a range of roles, but even still, it feels like a lot of people reduce him to sexy because he's aggressive. So I'm like, are you allowed? Like, I guess it's I hate that it ties into these other questions because it's so hard to make them own the distinct factors, but it matters. Are you happy? Meaning, does that mean like, are you happy in society, or does that mean you're happy within yourself? Or like, how do we define happiness?
This is a very interesting question. This is like has layers to it. It's a question I'm like, this is so many layers to it, but it's so interesting because it gives us to have the voice to speak and get different perspective of how we view happiness or how we see are we happy or not, and give us allow us to be vulnerable and be honest about are we happy or not.
Right.
For this person did, I love how you released this question for us. I appreciate it.
This person, I kind of want to catch your fade, and it's very, very possible that I might see you when the world opens back up, so count your fucking days, because my brain hurts.
Shit.
Anyone else?
Know the context.
After anybody else?
Cloud, you said you needed more context for the question?
Yeah, I want to know what is the context in which the question is being asked.
I guess you have the freedom to paint your own context for it, but maybe provide it for us so we can understand where you're coming from. Because when I tell you it's literally just those 3 words, it's just, are you happy?
I'm a relatively happy individual, you know.
But like, does it also mean like, are you happy as a black man in America and or where else you're from? Because you could in that sense.
I'm happy with me, happy with myself. If that answers your question, like as far as how society treats us, no, I'm not happy about that. Why should I be? But at the same time, I'm happy with my life, where I am, where I'm going, how I am. I'm happy about all of that.
That makes sense. Matt?
Me?
How do you want to contextualize the question? And what would be your answer? Are you happy?
No.
Talk to me. What's going on? Why you not happy? Or rather, what?
Wow, don't get me started. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I mean, like, for me, happiness is very relative because I am someone who does. I feel like a lot of people do, like, goes through depression and stuff like that, and it's like high highs, low lows, other stuff, personal relationships, like, and I feel like happiness. I wouldn't say I personally have happiness yet. Might maybe in the future. Right now, it's a lot of like stressfulness. Like I don't know, like I wouldn't say sadness, emptiness due to like depression and stuff like that. But I don't know. I have moments where I feel joy. I wouldn't say happiness. I would call it joy because I feel good in the moment, but like in reality, like I know that it's not gonna last as long as I'd hoped for it to. Which is why I can't call it happy.
Okay. Quan, you human. It's time for you to Are you happy? And what does that question, I guess, mean for you?
When I hear it, I mean, like, I think in like the grand scope of things, like taking everything into account, like everything about like my life personally, and I would say like I'm not happy. Like I have things to be happy about. I can take that into perspective, but there's a lot of things that I like think about and see, and not just in being like a black man, and just being like in being a goddamn American and being like and being a person as a whole. It's like I'm not happy. I have things to be happy about, and I have things that really upset me.
All right. Okay. So we got all these different perspectives on being happy. Mel, did you want to contextualize your happiness question?
My happiness question is kind of like more, I'm satisfied, but I'm satisfied enough that I can gain a little more, but at the same time, I'm not afraid to fight for what I need to. Anyway, I'm happy where I live in my life, able to breathe and do what I need to do.
Okay.
And about happiness, how happy is what you make it. What you make it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I will always have the energy, be happy, and smile every day.
So you choose to be happy.
No one can take this smile from me.
I like that. So you actively wake up and choose to be happy.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's a choice. You can choose to be miserable. You choose you want to see the world and view the world for yourself.
Okay. Next question. I think I'm actually like make this the last question because we already hit the hour mark and we still gotta build this goddamn playlist. Do you feel like you have to be a man in order to portray or teach black masculinity? Who wants to start this one? Do you have to be a man to teach or exude black masculinity?
Very tough question. Matt or Cloud?
I missed something. What was the question? My apologies. What was the question?
Do you have to be a man in order to teach or exude black masculinity?
No.
Yes.
I gotta know a yes.
How are you going to show someone how to be a man if you're not one?
It's kind of 50-50 for me. There's a man.
That's like trying to teach someone how to sweep with a mop. Like
I don't know. I feel like I have a dog in this fight specifically as a genderqueer individual. I would have to say yes to this one. It's very possible to do it because a lot of the male figures in my life didn't grow up with male figures around them and have been impeccable men. that they learned from their mother what a man should be or what a man shouldn't be, and they filled in the blanks with the world around them and with their mom's teachings. I know for a certain fact, because full disclosure here for those who seem not to know, I don't know how you don't know at this point, started my life out male and living the male experience. I know I wasn't looking to, didn't really even have the guidance of my father to explain what it meant to be a man before I got to where I am now. So everything I learned about what I was being a boy at that time was from my mother, and she was in fact a tomboy. So it sort of played out. She was more masculine than I was, pray tell.
Yes, valid. It's not true. Like, yeah, you don't have to be a male. You don't have to be a male to teach a boy how to be a guy. But then I'm not this. I was the devil advocate. But I would not to discount that males might have people have that father or male figure in their life. Like I grew with a father figure. Like the general experience kind of fills in that blank. You can say, you can again. It's like having that father figure fills in it, or having like a former father figure fills in it easily, naturally, easily, than just saying, okay, my mom did it, or it kind of naturally fills it in. So the other thing, again, with having like a tomboy mom and stuff like that, my mother like, and then but I all had the same energy. So at the end of the day, I'll be a man no matter what happened. But at the end of the day, having my father made it easier to understand manhood in a way. Because again, he was after he married my mom for the force, but he was still a man or a father. He still didn't remember what we asked for or we want for, but always he put the ground rules as what you gotta do to gain it. He gave us the ground to understand what it feels to earn. Because he had a perspective as a guy, as a full male for his 50 years before us say passed away from cancer. Rest in peace, my dad. Rest in peace, Dad. You're amazing. But I mean, it's like he showed me how to value money, how to do certain things. Because again, he showed me how to. He was his old school way about it. He still showed how to. He gave me the full grounds to understand manhood.
So you
his perspective, but he gave me the grounds to understand.
So would you say it's not necessarily that it takes a man specifically to teach, or it takes a black man to teach black masculinity, but maybe it's a little bit easier?
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of easier. It's like teaching a young girl how to be being a mom, being a black mom, something like that. Because again, a father has a different experience. Again, having that woman there that has a lot more easier for girls to understand it more nasty than your dad's teaching that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Again, they can get the ideals of it, but to get the full experience, you gotta see. Something you have to see the person live that full life. You see, with those in mind, living with that completely.
All right, Cloud. I think I heard you say no earlier. Where are you at with this? Talk to me.
Mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Like, men and women are the opposite sex, correct? And a man, let's just be real here, is not going to be able to think like how a woman does, which is why, guys go to girls for advice on other girls, because we're not going to be able to be like, all right, let me think like her real quick. And it's the exact same thing, or how I see it, vice versa. Like, a lady's not going to be able to think like a man. Therefore, I don't see how in someone that's not a man can teach how to be one.
But I've got to ask now then, to your point, do you feel like black masculinity is specific to being a black manhood, or do you feel like masculinity exists outside of that?
I think masculinity is masculinity.
All right, that makes sense. Kuon?
I don't know. I think yes. I think. Wait, what was the question? Actually, ask me again.
Do you think? Hold on. Let me actually pull up the question too, because I forgot. Do you think do you have to be a man in order to exude black masculinity?
Oh no.
Oh, talk to me.
Um, I mean, it's kind of going back to like what you said earlier about your mom. Like, it's like you can be masculine and it doesn't have anything to do with your gender or sex. You can exude masculinity and it doesn't have anything. Just like for if you're a man, you can exude femininity. You can sit here. It goes both ways. It's not something that's just solely to one side or the other. It's something that can just be shared. It's like the idea that, like, personally, that, like, oh, well, it kind of goes back to that topic, like, only a man could raise a man, like that type of thing. And I think back to, like, the men in my family, and I'm like, a lot of the worst qualities that I see in, like, men normally come from them. And it's like, yeah, you can have the equipment, but as long as you don't know how to work it properly, you can't teach other people how to use it properly. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, unless you don't know how to, like, properly, like, not perfectionally, but just sit here and, like, teach it of teach how to be a man effectively, like, it's just not for you. Like, it's just from person to person, I think.
How can you help someone with math if you can't even count?
Right.
I feel you. Matt?
Okay.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I don't know. Well, I think that you don't have to be like a man to raise someone to be. I feel like you can't like tell someone how they're gonna be. Like you do play a part in how someone's upbringing will be, but like in the end, you're not the only person in their life who's gonna have an effect on. Like, even though I have my dad now, I didn't have him that much when I was younger. It was mostly me and my mom, and I feel like she did a good job in like raising me how, at least in her eyes, a man should be. Because like you don't have to be a man to tell someone how you see other men. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you had enough experiences with men, you know who they are. Like, back to what I think it was what Cloud said about like asking like you don't go to like a girl to ask about like how like guys will. I mean, that can sometimes be the case depending on who you're talking to, but like for me, like my friends who like are guys and or like, well, yeah, are guys, they would like they could go to me and ask me things and I'd be able to tell them because I have enough girl like female friends to know like who they are and like how they would react to certain things just like through the logic and what they've told me throughout the years. It's like you put together who people are in a sense and who people like how people represent themselves and you're able to like express like their like thought process through knowing them, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm I don't ooh. I'm in a weird space now because I'm not rethinking my answer. I stand on what I said, but honestly, Cloud's perspective provided a little bit more like turmoil to my answer only because I'm thinking of it now, and while I do adamantly and vehemently believe that one can draw from both sides, I mean, that's sort of my existence. I'm not exactly one gender, but I pull from both ends to sort of make what I think is the best outcome for myself and slightly within the world, because I do think I'm pretty great.
You are.
I can't say wholeheartedly that even in certain circumstances when it comes down to it, if I need a male identity or masculine aspects that I would like, I ask my female group, but I still find myself defaulting to a man too, at least to try and get a more masculine perspective because they exist
More
within this.
in-depth perspective. It's like a more personal, in-depth perspective about it. From a guy, he goes to like a guy for in-depth perspective in that kind of way, because again, like the person who lived it had that more in-depth perspective versus the person who the outside. Who can just tell you, but they can tell you from only outside perspective of it, the situation.
There we go. Glad we finally got through that, because I'm still conflicted. I'm gonna have to think this through some more. But
no, wait. But like, what was I saying? There are definitely things that I would never go to my mother about, and I would have to go to my father, or it'd be very uncomfortable, and my mom wouldn't know what to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's definitely like benefits from both sides on who you're gonna be like as a man.
so,
Mm-hmm.
So we can't really destroy gender. Oh no. Oh no. Because I'm starting to think there's slight importance and necessity to gender dichotomy.
It is. It's not like a major, but it holds some importance. So we cannot just go erasing it. But the thing that we can redefine and help people in new generation understand it. Understand it and find a way and use it in their own way. I'm saying.
It's a social construct that's become really real in this point. Ugh.
I know.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
We all live with it.
There have been so many times I've gone to friends of mine and that's like, I'm talking to this girl now and things are going this way. Why is she doing this? Why is she doing that? And she'd be able to tell me because I would not have the first clue on, why she's doing what she's doing. And I've had friends come up to me, complaining about their boyfriends, and I'm sitting up here like, dang, I know exactly what she's doing, and I know exactly why he's doing it. And I've been able to tell her, like, just, be there and kind of give them an insight on the guy's perspective.
All right. Okay. I feel comfortable. Does anyone else have any other things or last things to add in before we move on?
Nope. Cloud already explained it.
Matt, Kwani?
No, I'm good.
I think I've made my points.
Why so astute? I think I've finished my side.
Yeah, I can just see.
I said what I said, and take it as you take it, and learn what you learn.
I'm gonna buy you a pair of glasses for Christmas. I really am. All right. This next segment we like to call plugging new roots around here. So, each of you, I'm going to have you go around 5 different times, and what I want you to do is, pertaining to the topic of black masculinity, black manhood, whatever it is, you categorize this specific topic as, because technically it's black masculinity, but sometimes people find those subcategories to be more helpful. In any part of that concept, I need you to give me 5 songs you think that pertain to this. Who wants to go first?
Ooh, that's a toughie.
This topic.
Wow. Okay. Oh, stop.
I guess it's time to open up Spotify.
And do y'all want me to go to at least get the ball rolling to maybe help frame this?
Please do.
Slightly morbid, but also important. Speaking to black masculinity, one of the first things that came to mind when I brought up this topic even was Childish Gambino's "This Is America."
Oh, that's a good
one. Oh yes, I'll say yes to that.
I'm gonna probably go ahead and list off my number 2 though, because I don't want to let it stew and sit and have everyone start thinking of those lyrics. Maybe some people might be doing a little shoulder dance thing. Alternately, I find the song both incredibly appealing and I really, really love the song, but also it's a nice take on something that I don't know how to explain it. It gives me classic black man and R&B vibes, gives me also um, slightly like it's modern esque. It
We're
get,
pulling R. Kelly on this one now.
oh hell no, hell no! We do not speak of Robert on this show. We do not speak of Robert. I was gonna say it's giving me like 2000s esque R&B, where it's starting to like cater to the idea of actively like it's not passionate moment where we're speaking to the experience of sex. It's speaking to specifically catering to a woman. And I find that like interesting because at least with the rise of rap, I find it more speaking, circling back to that experience of sex and almost like even deviating away from that into slowly just how many like ooh I'm gonna sound old saying this, but how many different grotesque things you can do to someone sexually. Anyways, the song was Fall Through by I recently found out he changed his name. He goes by Dixon now. He's actually from Atlanta.
Sorry, he just got she said it. Well, I'll have a laugh.
Also, I probably should note too, all of my artists today are going to be black men. Just precursor here. You guys don't have to be limited to black men. You can do women, queer individuals. I want to bring more black men to the forefront as well.
I think I got one. Maybe Chanel by Frank Ocean.
Ooh.
I was thinking that too.
I'm gonna add little nods on the list, like little nods on that list too. Let's add them on. You know.
But what song?
God, I have so many songs. I have to look through a playlist.
I don't know. I like set up my list earlier.
Actually,
You said Set Up by Bryson Tiller?
No, I said I set up my list earlier.
Oh, set up your list. I'm like,
I set up my list earlier, like in the beginning of the podcast.
I'm like, I ain't never heard of Set Up. Bryson got new music.
okay, I got one of those songs like Holiday. Just the creativity alone.
Okay. Quan, what were some of the songs you were talking to me about? Or at least
one song that I have, and it goes back to like the conversation that we were having of like insecurity and pulling up like like showing like a fake face in order to like seem cool. It's You Ain't Gotta Lie by Kendrick Lamar, and I'm trying to find like the lyrics so I can sit here like. So he like basically in the bridge he talks about how people that he's been around, they sit there and says, asking where the hoes at to impress me, asking where the money bags to impress me. It's all in your head, homie. So it's like it's something that like now that I think back about it, it's like you ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta sit here and like try to build up like this fake facade to sit here and try to seem cool on that niggas.
That makes sense. Cloud, how you doing with your song search here? You still thinking?
Oh no, I got them all.
Oh damn, excuse me. We leave you alone for 2 minutes.
I listen to a lot of music. What can I say?
No, I respect it. You're talking to a music student. Trust, I respect. What you got for number one?
Things I've Seen by Joyner Lucas.
Ooh. Okay. Talk to me.
That song, he's basically talking about like basically like supporting black women, essentially.
Okay.
I Cry by Usher. That one he's, talking about basically Black Lives Matter.
All right.
Black Spider-Man by Logic. And that one is being proud of who you are, and he like myself is biracial, half black, half white, and he mentions that in the song as well, and I don't know, that one hits really close to me because of, well, that's a long story, but moving on. Anyways, you have "Land of the Free" by Joey Badass, and "Land of the Free" is basically him talking about, well, being black in America.
Mm-hmm.
And "High for Hours" by J. Cole. And that one is like American hypocrisy.
Definitely makes sense. Cloud's at all 5 songs. I'm at number 2. And Mel, Matt, and Kwani, you all have 1 song. Where are we at? Do you still thinking, or should I go on to number 3? Should I finish my list? Y'all need more time?
No, go to which one? I have so many songs on my list. Stuff I listen to all the time. I don't remember every artist that comes around.
All right. I can maybe work with you with one of them. Give me some of the lyrics or maybe the title that you're thinking, and I might be all like, "Oh, by this artist."
To be honest, I have my ears go as you gonna be.
Uh-oh.
Everywhere, so pretty much it's like anybody on your list. I may have possibly. I'm a fan of music, not a fan of music. Just depending.
Oh, it's not a matter of like people being a fan of this music, because these playlists can range from folk music to like medieval music from Skyrim. When I tell you,
that's Skyrim.
Hey, I'll throw it back to the Bard song, okay?
Not the I have one, "Powerful" by Major Lazer.
Okay.
Yes.
I might be controversial and pick one artist that's controversial.
If you say Robert Kelly, I am ending this.
No,
World's greatest.
I beat your motherfucking ass. Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne.
That's not as bad, but
That's not as bad. Like, we'll take it. The people will hear it. Step to the podium. Now, what song was it?
Okay, a song I was just like, I feel like, yeah, I'm looking at like something different. Something different from Lil Wayne, or I say Big Worm, maybe. Yeah. Again, he has so many songs, even from the Carter album. He got so many songs, and I'm like,
But you gotta pick one, or at least 4 more.
I get something different, or at least something different from Lil Wayne.
Okay, something different, Lil Wayne. Connie, you still radiating at 1.
Black of a Berry by Kendrick Lamar.
All right. Damn. Wait, y'all already caught up to me.
I want to say legend, but
Legend, Aisha Erotica. How'd she get here? I don't see what that. I don't think we're thinking of the same song. I'm gonna let you finish.
American Boy is still on Kanye West.
Well, she do be talking about different types of. Well, it do go.
It's Kanye West, though. It's Kanye West, so.
It's a stealth song. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that. Okay, for song number 3 for me, I want to do 8 by Zay Taylor. Specifically because of like the opening lyrics. I can tell these niggas trying to see me fail. Black man, I should really probably be in jail. Gay man, I should really probably be in hell. You know I tried, but you let us see a nigga fail. It's it's real funny, especially considering he's got a bunch of different clips from like people going on Facebook rants, and then he ends the song with I think her name's Lynn Spirit. Do you see the hair? Do you see the glitter? Do you see it?
I know. But the other time, you kept laughing.
Oh, why? Ooh.
Are we going to? Let me see the ad. The baby on the list.
That angry midget.
I gotta get some reaction.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Okay, we're gonna let the angry midget fly, cause I do still be shaking ass. Mad, but still shaking ass. Talk to me. What song we doing by the baby?
By the baby, I could like Chain and Smoke. Even the newest song they was on was like Megan the Stallion.
Cry Baby?
Yeah, even the song he was collabing with her. I'm like, okay, man, he's doing something.
Angry midget.
You look at the video; it's perfect.
I know he's toy size already. You know what? I'm gonna stop. I am height shaming him, and I am against height shaming. Let me stop.
No, in the video, he was pretty good. No, definitely kind of making it was an enjoyable song.
Okay. Matt, you want to give us number 4? Ooh, what happened?
Oh, damn.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, Matt came back.
Uh-oh.
Wi-Fi
said, achoo!
Exactly.
You want to give us number 4?
Of your choose.
Matt.
Wait, me?
Yes, you.
Yeah. You got
Wait, what about me?
Number 4.
You got number 4 now?
For those of you not watching, this man is raining sweat bullets.
I don't know. Let me see. Give me Love by Nat King Cole.
Not bad.
Okay, classics. Okay.
Good song.
He just said, I'm going to show up and show out. You better.
That's for Valentine's Day. That's how you should treat your love. You should let them know how much you love them.
So Matt raised a challenge on that one now.
Not a challenge.
I feel like I got to dig in my bag and find me a throwback too now.
We got to end on something love or classic. Somebody. You know we got something. But he raised a classic and for Valentine's Day. He doubled down.
I think my number. Do I want to do it? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do "Cause I Love You" as my 4th song for this playlist by Lenny Williams. Just because this was more of a common and popular song of a man being incredibly vulnerable. Like there was that. I mean, I could have gone "Ain't 2 Pounds of Bread," but that's a whole group. I just want to talk about one specific man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna do it too. For we're gonna do "Ain't 2 Pounds of Bread" / "Cause I Love You." All right. Mel, what's number 4 for you?
I thought I want to go Mel, but is it Mel? I'm going to just give it more unknown. Anybody else got one? I want to do like a mission curveball.
I mean, I have a 5th one.
I'm ready. I'm ready if you are.
All of Me, John Legend.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Back again to the Valentine's Day. You should give your all to the one you love. Like,
Ladies and gents,
know
this
that,
man is single,
like,
on the market, ready for you to scoop up. Come and get him. His uwus are showing.
Don't look.
What? Me shaming shit. I gotta go look through music. Even if I have to put my otaku, my whole otaku playlist to get something from Valentine's Day, and bro, girl that needed to engage you in mood. I'm like, damn it, I'll find something. I'll find something or whatever now.
You know what? I don't know. I regret saying the word uwu. You know what? Because
yeah, uwus are showing. That's the best thing I've ever heard.
your uwus are showing. You know what?
It sounds so nasty. Uwus are showing. I don't know. I just like I like covering myself up for it.
You got a church mother that pops up out of nowhere. Boy, put your uwus away.
Put your uwus away. Walking around the house with your uwus out. Shame on you.
Okay.
I've been listening to stream music, looking into the music festival song, but I know I've been listening to a lot of music. Definitely go back in the day, like remixes. I say Dreams of Shadow, like Dream Shadow. Let's go back to the old like 80, 800 stuff like that. Get the
800s. Hold on. That's slavery. Wait, what are we doing? During Black History Month? During Black History Month?
Wrong era. I think when it comes to sweet music, I'll be like different stuff like that. Go Black Heritage at the same time, but the remix been getting me.
Okay. So then what song are we gonna do?
I said like a song like literally like Dreams, like Dream Shadow. That one.
Dream Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm okay.
Like the big problems, like big problems.
Got you. I'm gonna write that one down.
Like that electric theme music lately been hitting me. Please going back to my roots at the same time. Like, yeah, when I'm in a mood, just like listen to wake you up. If I listen to sweet music, like electric theme music, stuff like that, I can't go to sleep. I'll be still up all night listening to it.
Electric swing music do be hitting. That like. I love jazz. If I had, like, it's my focus, but I don't know if I can declare concentration within school, because that would be where my concentration lies musically. I love jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself in 2020 and 2021 not being able to say I want to learn to scat, because, the internet has ruined that. Shut up. Don't you say it. Don't you say it. Don't you say it. Don't you say it.
I'm going to stop you. Go ahead, scat. Go ahead, scat. There's no shit. There are black artists who do swing music, do electric swing music and stuff like that. There are black female artists that do the same thing. In other words, we touch all kind of fields in music. There's no limit for us we cannot do.
Oh no.
Let's be honest.
I'm not saying I'm not gon' scat. I'm just saying I'm not gon' call it that. We gotta rename it because the internet is ruined.
What a scat is 2020. You can scat all you want.
Kwani, I'ma beat your ass. You know what? Since you want to talk so much, you behind on songs anyway, sir.
How many do I have?
You got 2 songs.
All right, I'm gonna list off like 2 J. Cole songs. Freaking, the first verse of No Role Models, where he said first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Just the first verse?
Just the first verse, honestly. Cause I don't know. No, I can't think about like the rest of the song.
You hear him, people. Just the first verse, okay? And for your number 2,
you can cut it off right after that.
Wow, right there now. It's like, I'm done.
One time for my that's too much. That's too much.
All right, and She's Mine Part 2 by J. Cole.
Okay.
I just like that song, yeah.
All right.
Is it not another first?
No. That full song it's a full. The song itself gives like a full feeling. You know, I like it.
Go ahead and bring it home then, Kwani. You made it this far. You might as well finish your list. Bring it home for us. What's number 5?
Doubt by Sam Henshaw, featuring I don't know how to pronounce this artist's name. Wretched32.
You know, I'ma Google it. We gonna pray about it.
It's a really good song actually. I really like it. I listened to it just before I got on here.
I've heard the song before. It's just I don't know how to say that man's name. Matthew?
Hi.
Dearest, we need number 5 from you.
I already gave my number 5.
You did? How?
Oh my God.
Becky, look at her butt. It is so big.
I said all of me, remember?
Oh shit, you sure did. I'm looking at the wrong set.
And you called me out for being single?
I did not call you out. I was putting you up. This is a game show. I am auctioning your heart out to the people.
Not auction.
Auction! Because we're gonna get you some money.
Pimping him out. Like, oh, he's single. Wait up. Go ahead. Right? Go ahead. Get him out. Like a mom to a single child. Oh, yeah.
I just do want to be clear though. I want my 10%. I do want my 10%. Thank you very much.
I'm done.
Okay, excuse me. So we have. Oops. I need to give my number 5, and so does Melvin. Melvin.
What would you be number 5? I give you
my number 5 is real simple. It's just another it's another twofer, mostly from the disco era. I have Shining Star by Earth, Wind and Fire, and I also have I don't know the actual name of the song, but I want to say it's You Make Me Feel by Sylvester. Yeah. Shut up. I'm gonna count how many times I said I'm gonna kick your ass, and just know I'm coming to collect.
In these past, like in the 2 episodes I've been in, it had to be about like 25 at this point.
Probably.
Probably.
Now, what you gonna do to close us out with number 5?
I'm looking for music. I'm looking for heavy metal right now. I'm not sure if you got one place that y'all looking for a heavy metal album just to mess with them. I'm dropping a heavy metal album there. I'm looking at other categories. I'm not for a song.
Honorable mention that I'm kind of surprised, but also not entirely surprised that no one mentioned. They Don't Really Care About Us by Michael Jackson. TikTok done burned that song to the ground. I got 2 wife in the I'm like, wow! I got 2 wife. I hate it here.
I got one.
You ready?
This might interest and surprise you at the same time.
Talk to me.
Doja Cat, like that, with Gucci Man.
Huh? I am interested and intrigued. I need an explanation. I do.
I see the video in the song. It has some energy. I could have played like Say So because it's like soft. Yeah, I think video like that's now like a soft tune like Say So. But I said like that just because I like the energy of that.
You know, I'll take it. I will take it. Well,
again, mine's a twofer with those guys.
Oh,
like
excuse
that and say so. Even I heard the one in Japanese, damn, it's sensual, but it's like Japanese, but it's so sensual. But god damn, it's like,
I
you
forgot there
feel
was
in
a
the mood.
Japanese version of Say So.
It doesn't get you in the mood. Like, okay, okay, like you feeling something. Like it makes you feel something.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and have us start turning a new leaf. That's our final segment before I go ahead and let you all be on your merry way, because I know people got places to be and things to say.
Mm.
I suppose I should reintroduce exactly what this is. Turning a new leaf is an opportunity to provide some information or insight or impart a piece of wisdom or maybe even give a bit of warning for you can say this to your past self, something you wish you would have said. You can say this to your future self, something you think you should know that you don't know yet. You can say this to the people around the world. Literally, impart your wisdom for whomever your audience is. Who wants to go first? About 3 seconds.
For me, I gotta hit it last. Anybody else?
What? This ain't a train. I gotta hit it last.
I gotta
Okay.
get my screen time in. I gotta get some screen time in. You know I would have not.
I don't think I've had Matt start any of these, so how about I have you start this one?
What am I saying?
Just one piece of advice or a warning or information, something you think is relevant and important to the topic of black masculinity that you would want to impart.
Being a man isn't black and white. Don't let anybody tell you who you are. You are who you are. Be confident in yourself. Be confident in who you want to represent yourself as. And I don't know. If you say you're a man, you're a man. Don't let anybody else tell you that you're not. Per.
Per mama. Mel?
To be honest, he said what he needs to say. The honest true answer. He said what I was going to say. Like, there's no guideline to be a man.
Okay.
Like, at the end of the day, if you say you're a man, you're a man. But it's your choice to set the path that you want to be on. If you want to be respectable, educated, street, whatever kind of man you want to be, that's your choice. Whatever you do, accept the consequence that comes around with that choice. Man, I like you. I really like you. No, at the end of the day, it's up to you to be comfortable with yourself at the end of the day, and be comfortable with the choices you make.
Okay. Kwani?
Damn.
Get your hand off your chin.
Why would you said that as soon as I did it too? That's the weirdest thing.
I'm psychic. I see you, nigga. I see you.
Shit, cameras up. There are cameras everywhere.
I literally looked at my webcam for a second.
She's seeing you through the webcam.
My third eye is open.
Okay, now we got after. What do you got to say to the audience? Any audience you want to speak to? So,
cover your webcams.
Because I will be watching.
The government watching. Keep an eye. Always look over your shoulder. Make sure nobody's watching. That's my words.
Hold on. Seriously. I get the cover on that. We ain't telling me to go back right now.
I'm going to smack you, Kwani, and I'm going to smack you, Cloud, for condoning it. Since you got so much to say, Cloud, what's your part of advice or information you want to impart into the world?
Be proud of who you are.
Okay.
Yeah. Be proud of who you are is the main takeaway that I want to give. If anybody has a problem with who you are, fuck them.
Well, maybe don't fuck
them.
them.
Love you. love yourself, love who you are, and I highly suggest meditating. It can do wonders.
I can't doubt that. I doubt that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
I guess it falls on me. I would say basically everything these gentlemen have said has been absolutely spot on. I just want to add on to it. Be free to express yourself as a man, however that, or as a black masculine individual as you see fit. That means the world is your oyster to devour. Do what you will with it. And again, Melvin told you, accept the consequences that come with it, but not all consequences are negative. And so it can be scary to do these things, but sometimes you gotta face that fear because it's worth it to see what's on the other side. Now that I've read the fortune cookie, I'm gonna let Cloud go first because I know you gotta go. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on switch.tv/UnboundedCloud. Instagram at UnboundedCloud1. Also on Twitter, though I barely go on Twitter, at Cloud Unbounded.
All right. Do you have any upcoming projects? Anything you want to shout out to the people?
Yes. Going to be starting a new series called Comic Talk. And it's either going to be on my YouTube, which is also Unbounded Cloud, or Twitch.
Okay.
Interesting.
Who can we have? Who's next? Go.
Let Kuon do it. You know, Kuon. Something going on.
Damn, threw him all the way under the bus, Kwani.
Damn. You can find me on my Twitter at, I forgot what my Twitter ad is. I think it's...
Ain't it Quan?
It's Quan. I think it's Quan with a Q and then Quan with a K. So...
Let me do my research real quick.
That
Yeah, that's you.
Whichever one. Yeah, that's me.
I'll put it in the description box too.
All right. And Instagram at quon.god, Quon, or the period, God. YouTube, Kuon, Kuon, and I don't even do anything on Switch. So that's the thing. I'm gonna start a Twitch. I might start my Twitch. I need to.
Go for it, buddy. Go for it.
Go ahead, follow him. He'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Do you have any upcoming projects you want to tell the people about? Aside from your thing rendering for 3 years?
As well. I'm working on I'm basically just right now. I'm just working on visual effects. I'm just trying to figure out After Effects, Blender, that type of stuff. But I might try to start recording and editing videos soon. I might try to start something. But right now I'm just editing, just having fun with it.
All right. Mel.
Okay. So everybody can find me. You can Instagram Okaketsu, on YouTube Okaketsu as well, and on Twitch. In the future, I might consider, but I need to set everything else up. The word possibly future project. But is everything still a secret little hush? I love to keep my secrets.
Mr. Man said you gotta watch my smoke because you ain't gonna peep. You ain't gonna peep until he see it. All right. Last but not least, Matt, where can the people find you?
I don't exist on the...
This man is a spirit. He a ghost. Boom.
I mean, my social media is not active at all, so it wouldn't make sense trying to follow me anywhere. So I'm not on it anyways.
Oh, so we're actually speaking with the dead right now. Ugh! I knew I was psychic.
Said we got friends on the other side. I'm here.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of the Roze Garden. Thank you as always for letting me be myself. It has been me, your host, Tabla Rosa. You tune in every Friday at 3, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye, y'all.